Chapters 1001 to 1005. Two emperors versus 5 rapscallions.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Podcast. I'm the bestie boy, and this is Gib.
Hey, it's been a while. It'll always be a while.
This might be a big kind of one, but there'll probably be some time codes if there's a particular chapter you find of interest to you. But first up for us is chapter 1001, The Decisive Battle of Monsters on Onigashima. Cover page, Jinbei. Looking great.
I was thinking it might be a long one, but I think the first 3 of these chapters, 1001, 2, and 3, are mostly just fighting. So I don't know if there would be much to say about it. But yeah, we got a Jinbei on a jellyfish, and there he is.
Get out of here, Jinbei. Okay, he's having a good time. Enjoy that. Real chapter begins. Okay, now where we left our heroes, Luffy just styled on Kaido with a big ol' punch. Oh, what was it called? It was a new attack name. Big Hockey Blast. Whatever.
It was called the Big Punch. It was called the Big Attack.
Red Falcon? Oh, Red Rock. That's the one. That's the one. He did a big punch, and Kaido was hurt, so it seems. And we are recovering from that realization. Whoa, you can actually deal damage to me. What, do you think you're as cool as the Pirate King or something? Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Cool.
Yeah.
Good.
So he's using his new armament haki. Very
Indeed.
Cool, very epic. And the fight begins. It's really just they're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And they are fighting. Oh, I noticed. Here's the interesting thing I noticed quite quickly. Zoro does the Foxfire style. Big Mom gets a Prometheus, and he slices Prometheus in half with the Kinemon's attack, which means Kinemon is what's the word?
Useless?
Yeah, useless is a way of putting it. There's like a word for it. It's redundant.
Outclassed. He's redundant. Right.
There was a time, like a long time ago, I was like, he could cut fire. That could be like his thing if he joined the Straw Hats or whatever. Not anymore.
You ever since they introduced cutting concepts and other odd things that couldn't normally be cut, it was always inevitable that Zoro could cut lots of funny things. And I mean, back when we saw Kinemon first do it in not Thriller Bark, in Punk Hazard years ago, Zoro said right then, "That's a cool technique." I think he might have even said like, "I want that," and now he has it. So he powered up. He uses it strategic. We had said a couple chapters ago it was cool that Kinemon used it. It was useful against a fire blasting guy like Kaido, and now Zoro has it too. So it's true. Kaido is now, or Kinemon is basically doesn't have anything unique to him that we know anyway now. But we've got Zoro upgrades.
It's devil fruit to make clothes, but
Oh yeah, that's true. But that's not
whatever.
The most interesting one I've ever seen. Nonetheless, good for you, Kinemon. You did something. You helped Zoro grow. That's always a nice thing. And now he's got new powers. So Luffy, by the way, gets hit immediately by the Thunder Bagua, which is the same attack that clocked him when he got defeated by Kaido at the beginning of the arc, middle of the arc, whenever it was. I notice he seems to get hit on the head, but he is not dead. He gets up and seems basically fine. So I'm going to assume that's haki being used defensively. That's keeping him alive. Yeah.
I like the detail of him saying, "I saw the future, but he's too fast." So
indeed,
his future sight is not enough. It's going to be a bit more of a slugfest.
This is the thing with the Katakuri fight as well. I think Luffy was just too fast for Katakuri to dodge, even though he could see things coming. And probably vice versa as well with Luffy. But, Kaido's a very fast young man. I think I said it before, but he's like, there's only a handful of people, like, alive who are even able to fight me or hurt me. And we see, like I said before, in the back you got Whitebeard, Odin, Gold Roger, and Zebek, Roxy Zebek. So, I mean, also Shanks, kind of hiding behind Luffy there. This just really cements that Odin is counted among, like, the strongest people in the entire series. Like, Sengoku isn't there, Garp isn't there. It almost feels like Odin is being put on a higher pedestal than some of these other characters, which seems, again, like we're sucking Odin's dick so hard, but he did cut like Kaido, so...
I mean,
I guess he did do that.
I forget, like, way earlier, Odin wasn't really mentioned at all among these people. Like, maybe he hadn't been like invented by Oda yet.
Well, long enough time ago. I'm sure that's true.
Sure. It wouldn't have been like right before Wano or anything, but yeah.
Well, even when he was among Whitebeard's crew, I mean, Odin. I mean, for people can correct me if they think that I'm wrong, that my impression is off. And we know that Odin hurt Kaido with his sword and stuff. Okay, so like I can stipulate to that. He has a super good sword. He's really strong. But even when he was in Whitebeard's crew, it sure seemed like Whitebeard, at least, was like way stronger than Odin. Not to I mean, Gold Roger, we don't really know that much, but he was certainly evenly matched with Whitebeard, if not stronger. I don't know. Again, I'm just relitigating this old thing. We sure suck Odin's dick a lot, but he literally is someone who has hurt Kaido, so I understand why he would be in this collection. And I suppose it's cool that now fucking Zebek, the Rocks pirate guy, is now included in this little montage as well of very strong people. So I'm sure we will learn about him before too much longer.
Yeah.
Hopefully. End of arc, maybe. I don't know. So, anyway, they're fighting. That's what's going on.
They're fighting. Law does his little shambles, zips Luffy over to him to save him from another swipe. And then they have a little bickering because earlier in the last chapter, Luffy said, "Hey, Law, take these guys to safety, the Red Scabbards. They're hurt." And Law says, "I was going to do that anyway. I don't want to, like... It looks like I'm doing what you say, but you're not the boss of me. I mean, come on." It's really funny. I like that little what's the
way
word?
that no one wants to flinch, they challenge each other to, all right, the real big dick boy is the one who doesn't flinch from this gigantic Yonko fire attack coming to our faces.
It's the it's the God, I'm bad with words today. The three of the worst generation, or at least the three captains here, they're trying to be the top dog, because they're usually, probably like if they had their own shonen series, they would always be the main guy having the main fight, but they're all here together trying to share the spotlight, and none of them wants to be the second or third. So they're trying to be the coolest guy, which gets them all blown up.
But they're all right. They do all get hit in the face. You might expect a little bit of at least, like, Law to be a little bit smarter, but his pride can be tested, and they're challenging his pride, so all of them, Kid too, are like, oh, God, okay, I guess I'll just get hit in the face, that's fine. I'll probably live, I guess. And luckily they do.
This real Pirate King material here.
I mean, that's what hockey's for, right? So you can get hit in the face and not die. So, there you go.
Yeah, I like it. In this moment of like the biggest, highest stakes battle with two of the four emperors, there's still room for like silly moments like that.
Yeah, I really like that moment. It was very good. Good to not lose the levity. And I suppose there's just like there is a little bit of a feeling going through all this that like, are these guys taking this seriously enough? Why aren't they dying every second against these two? But I don't know. Frankly, they're doing fine. I'm not. It doesn't really frustrate me or anything. They seem to be taking it seriously enough to satisfy me, especially because Kaido and Big Mom both kind of play with their food when they're fighting him anyway. So
yeah, it's definitely Kaido.
I am satisfied.
He got punched and he got up and I was like, this is fun. So he is definitely trying to have fun with the fighting and not like going all out and killing them.
Oh, actually, next panel, it's literally Kaido like, stand back, and Big Mom's like, playing with your food again, huh? So there you go. There it is.
So Zoro and Killer do a little. I think this was revealed before, but Kamazo the Manslayer, the laughing crazy man, was Killer after all.
This is Zoro acknowledging it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Very cool. He did beat this man up before.
Yeah, but he says, just because I didn't have my special funny weapon. That feels like... I've always looked at Killer's blades, and they spin like that. I always feel like that if he tilted them in the wrong way, he'd just slice his own torso. Like,
I mean, that's definitely true, but, if Zoro swung his sword the wrong way, he'd cut himself. I mean, it's not automated, so I see what you're saying. But, I mean, do I find it a little hard to believe that, like, how powerful could the motor in those the Punishers, they're called, apparently, is that really that good compared to, shonen character thrust strength? Does it really make him so much stronger? I don't know.
I don't know if it's a motor.
You say so,
I think he could be just spinning it around really quickly. It's
I
just
guess
sort
that's
of
true.
a weird,
like that.
like an awkward
You know those
angle.
things that you spin with the lights on the end, and when you spin around, like they digitally create like a number because if it's the way it's like strobing, it creates like a word in the air. That's basically what it's like. It's that level of power.
Yeah,
I guess
He could
those
put-
are pretty powerful.
He could put one of those on to communicate.
He should, and that would be an excellent idea. All right, well, okay, whatever. It could also be, to be fair, maybe he's just far more comfortable and skilled fighting with this particular weapon, and he's more used to it, rather than the, like, scythe-sword combination he was using before or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's strong. Fine. They're doing a little bit of thing of, even though he lost to Zoro, it's not like he's totally bullshit. He's got, some better things he can do here. So, okay, cool.
It's interesting, because, like, I think among all of the people of this the group that Zoro and Luffy and Law and all that, Killer is the one who I understand his powers the least. Like, he's got blades, and I'm like, how strong is he? We get to see a few techniques in this battle, which is pretty cool.
For the first time, we're starting to see what he can do. So we'll comment on that when we see more. Right now, he appears to do this decapitation claw. Looks to me like he attempted to slice Kaido's neck, and it did not cut his head off.
Yeah,
So,
I like that,
so far,
that panel
didn't work.
where it's like, blade, like samurai blade, full force, strong person, goes straight into his jugular, but he's just so tough. It just bounces back.
Yep. Although if Zoro...
boy.
Well, okay, we'll see Zoro do some stuff. So if he gets him in a vital spot, could be a different story. But right now, all right, all the captains are time to saddle up and do their big ol' attacks. So boom, we got them lined up in a big old fancy panel. Well, I mean, okay, we're familiar with Gear 4th, and we're familiar with Room. Law got a bunch of spikes gonna send out on Kaido. New one from Kid here, though. Punk Rotten, does it have a name? No, I guess not. Just a big metal mech thing, a big robo-man that he assembles with his metal controlling power, which looks pretty cool. Yeah. Will he be able to do interesting or cool? Generally, people who use big mechs, like, there's a shonen kind of rule of thumb that, like, if you have a big mech, generally you do, like, big slams as opposed to, like, cool or interesting techniques or powers. And so I'm still waiting for more of those. Like, I don't know, like a cool magnetism power is like in JoJo Part 5, or something Magneto does, where he'll, like, rip the iron out of your blood. Haha, that's edgy and cool, but he's just punching you with a metal man right now. Maybe we'll see more of that later.
Metal bending or anything. This is just, like, create mech at any time, guaranteed.
Yeah, I'm holding out. I mean, Kid's cool. There's still lots of room to do stuff with him.
The skull face
the skull man
is
there.
cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. Anyway, they just punch him. They all hit him real good with their stuff. Kong gun, Punk Vice with the big fist of the metal man, and the tacked rock blow. And amazingly, it didn't instantly kill Kaido. But he's like, ooh, okay, you guys are a little tough. I'm sorry I have to kill you. If you just worked for me, that'd be cool, but I guess we'll fight. And the winner of this battle will get big rewards, because, like, we got poneglyphs, you guys got poneglyphs. Whoever wins is going to have all those poneglyphs and stuff. So the stakes are certainly very high towards becoming Pirate King.
Yeah.
And there you go.
It's basically just, like, warm-up round, like round one.
Yeah.
Everybody's
showing off
what they
a
can
little
do.
bit. Mm-hmm, exactly.
And then we go, that's the end. Let's go into chapter
let's get right in.
1002.
It's almost probably a good thing that we're doing this in bunch, because that we could have stretched that out, but there's not that much more to say about
not really
about these chapters, as you said. Okay, chapter 1002, Emperors versus the New Generation. Picking up right where we left off. Rob Lucci feeding some pigeons. He does enjoy pigeons, so there he goes doing that. All right, Kaido shooting out. Basically, it's okay. Now Kaido's doing attacks we've seen before here and there. And we're seeing how our stronger boys deal with it. So the Red Scabbards got all fucked up by these wind blades or whatever. Our guys, let's see, what do we got? Law can dodge. He's got teleport powers. Kid just eats the hit, but his mech is made of junk anyway, so it doesn't matter. And he can reform it instantly. Sick.
Yeah, it's kind of like a giant, like, Buggy the Clown, but made of metal.
Yeah, basically. That's true. Let's see, we got Zoro deflection, and Luffy appears to dodge. Okay, so he probably not the best matchup for a rubber man, slicing blades or something of his weakness. But he gets in there with Gear 4th flying powers and just gives him a big old punch. And then Kid follows up with, see, this is what I mean with these non-specific, unimpressive techniques. Whoa, he flipped him! Oh my god, he gave him the Gibson flip! There's no way he's going to recover from the Gibson slam,
the Gibson suplex.
It's just one of those classically non-plot important moves that you see in shonen when a guy gets flipped.
I think it's just that it's in a manga where it's harder to feel an impact like that.
Well, that's true. Because
the
little details matter a lot.
It's a massive entity throwing a massive entity in motion. The slowness of how big something is being moved like that would be better.
And, like, the classic thing of, like, if you see the character, like, spit up blood or something after a hit, whatever it is, then you're like, oh, that was, like, a plot-relevant hit, or, something like that. In this case, we get him going, erg, after that particular one. But then again, we've got Law here. Now here's an interesting idea. This idea of Law being able to circumvent all this armor he's got, because he's the doctor, man. We've seen him attack directly inside the body. So, boom, there he goes with Gamma Knife, trying to find where a big dragon heart might be, and he hits him on the inside. So that's probably a pretty good matchup for Law. More or less.
Remind me how Law's powers work. He can slice people up using room. What's stopping him from doing that to Kaido?
Well, okay, so the general gist of Law's powers is, so he hits the Ope Ope no Mi, which stands for, like, Operation Room, where he does, it's like the surgery devil fruit, and operates within, like, that Operation Room's dome or whatever. And he has a bunch of powers, specific powers he can use. The one where he cuts people, I don't know if that one has a name, like Shamblas is where he moves them or whatever. We've seen before, that power can be stopped by Haki. And I'm just going to assume the toughness of Kaido would also probably be another factor in being able to cut him. So while Law was able to cut Virgo, famously, despite his big hulked out, a full-body Haki powers and stuff, Kaido's certainly another level up. So, I mean, we haven't seen him try and fail. I'm just going to assume that Law thinks to himself, my attacks that rely on me being able to penetrate defense to cut somebody else might not be a great matchup for Kaido, who's known for his toughness, so I'll go for the ones that circumvent their toughness and hit him from the inside, which seems logical to me.
Yeah, I guess so. It's always been a bit confusing to me, because I always thought, if Law can, take your heart out, he doesn't literally need the blades to be a dangerously sharp cut, because he cut a mountain with no effort. So, the hardness doesn't seem to be a problem. He could cut out your brain and then just stab your brain with a regular knife. You'd be dead.
Well, that's fair. That's a fair
point. But, I guess there's some limitation in there that you just can't do that.
This was never really clarified, but it always seemed like Haki, at a minimum, is something that lets you resist Law's powers. The thing is, the funny thing about that is, we only ever saw Law's power succeed at cutting someone using Haki, namely Virgo, but the buildup of the situation makes it seem like they expect Virgo's Haki to be able to fight off Law's powers. However, Law had improved his powers, maybe used his own Haki as well to cut the guy. Unclear. That was always kind of a weird fuzzy bit of logic about his powers, but I don't know. There's some miasma of facts there that, I don't know, it's hard to cut Kaido, I guess. I don't know. Kaido does say here that, damn upstarts, you can counter my durability? That's unfortunate for me that you can do that. And here we go with a killer technique. He says, your hide is really tough, but I can slice you up from the inside. I use Sonic Scythe. So the implication here must be not that his sword suddenly got massively huge as it visually looks on the panel, but that he's using some sort of sonic as in audio side?
Yeah, it seems like a vibration thing. If you look at the blade on the very right of that panel, it's wobbly, so it sort of implies that it's like a mirage sort of thing.
Okay, I mean, it's got to be something like that.
Some sort of audio sonic pulse that penetrates inside of him and hurts like a knife, because he goes growl afterwards. So I assume it hurts.
Right, it definitely did something. Doesn't seem to have... I mean, if those blades were at all literal, it seemed like it would sure fuck up a lot of his organs. It's got to be slightly less deadly than it kind of appears on the panel there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so he's got some extra techniques he can do that penetrate defenses sonically? How did he learn that? Now I guess I am curious about what his techniques really are.
Well, if you look at his hair, and you imagine him spinning in a ball, it's basically he is Sonic, the Hedgehog. So he's doing a
That's
sonic
true.
spin right there.
That's true. He definitely did do that. I know that the theme of the kid pirates is like metal music. So maybe this is like, a thing. This is audio related. Perhaps there's a connection here. Oh. I don't know if it will really pervade anywhere else. Just saying. Just making a note for the record. But anyway, then Kid gets fucking lit by a big old lightning bolt from Big Mom. Their Indra lightning strike. Oof.
Yes.
He is wounded.
It's only been Kaido so far, and now Big Mom's coming in at the same time.
Indeed. She's cutting in. Fuck up some of these guys who are doing stuff, which is nice. So let's see what's happening here. We've got Kaido is about to eat Kid, or rather Killer, but Luffy comes in and gives him a kick so he can't get him. And then Kaido then turns his attention to be about to kill Luffy, but Tra boosts up Zoro, who again cuts the fire to protect Luffy from the blast, so he does not get too hurt. And then we got Zoro here, using Odin's sword, I forget what it's called, but the fancy Odin sword, goes up to do a big one-sword style flying dragon slash, or blaze, or whatever, which sure seems to be implied. Big Mom says, "Watch out, Kaido, you better dodge, that's not an ordinary sword." And we see, the mountaintop get, cut. If that had hit Kaido, looks like it would have done some serious damage against this guy.
Yeah.
But it did miss. That is clarified.
When
they comment that it's Odin's aura specifically and whatnot,
yeah,
of course, because it was his sword.
It was Odin's sword. It was interesting that Big Mom told him to dodge. I guess the aura is so powerful that even she knows. Yeah. She doesn't seem like a master tactician, but she can tell things in a battlefield, I guess.
To be fair, Big Mom, we have never seen Big Mom seriously threatened, ever in the entire series. She's just been, generally opposed by people much weaker. So I think we've kind of never seen her get serious. This kind of seems like the first time she's gotten serious when, trying to warn Kaido of, a serious attack that could hurt him. And maybe would be able to hurt, too. Her as well. I don't know. Who's, the tougher between the two of them. But, the fact that she says something, a fucking Yonko, is that attack is dangerous, watch out, is certainly noteworthy. Is Zoro's attack power exceeding Luffy's right now because he's got super hockey slices from Odin power? Kind of seems that way. I don't know.
Could be.
We'll see. Maybe Zoro will get a big bounty higher than Luffy, and he'll be the new captain, and Luffy will just cry himself and shit in his baby diaper in the corner because there's a new captain in town.
It would be an interesting development that would be very unexpected if Zoro was more applauded for his battle against Kaido.
He's got the secret weapon right now.
A big slice or something.
It's funny because Luffy has always been kind of ironically weak to Zoro specifically because he's slashy, cutty sword man. That is the one thing that is particularly effective against Luffy. It's never, they fought once in a while in, a meme way, back in, Whiskey Peak and stuff. I always thought, if these two seriously fought, I think Zoro has a strong chance of actually winning. Whatever, that's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter.
The real, thing stopping Zoro from taking over Luffy is that Zoro doesn't give a shit about being the Pirate King. He just wants to be the strongest swordsman. Yep.
And Zoro, or rather, Luffy cares about just being strong enough to achieve his particular goals of adventure and fun and stuff, which happens to keep him in, the similar kind of path, of course. So then Zoro here also gets Indra'd, big old lightning blast. And by the way, I'm suddenly reminded, of course, we're seeing a lot of lightning, of the old Eneru fight from Skypiea, when these characters got hit by lightning quite a bit. My first question is, first of all, they're whoa, holy shit, Heavenly Dominion, Tenjin's Wrath. There's a lot of lightning going on right now. I've just got to say, Kaido's, cool, okay. Big Mom, now that's a real fucking power level. Now that is what I want to see, in a One Piece battle. These, environmental changing, natural disaster level, lightning everywhere. Because Big Mom has, harnessed the power of, a sun and, a thundercloud to control the fucking elements at her whim. I know Kaido can do that, too. I'm just saying Big Mom is so much cooler and a better power person for the things I like out of One Piece, and I'm delighted that she's here because she makes the fight far more interesting with this shit.
It turns out Whole Cake never ended. It was all Whole Cake.
We're in Whole Cake Part 2, kinda. I was wondering if these lightning strikes, what would be the the comparison between Eneru's lightning powers, like how much damage they're doing, versus these lightning strikes. Because I know Zoro tanked quite a few of those when we were in, Luffy has a unique resistance to them, of course. Zoro is a normal man, so he'd be hurt quite a bit. Sanji got hit by some. He was still on his feet. I don't know. Just thinking out loud. Eneru was very convenient. He would tell us like the exact volt amount because that was like his attack name pattern back in the day. I wonder what Big Mom's would be.
I mean, I can't imagine that this would be like necessarily stronger than just normal lightning, however strong that is. But maybe real life lightning comes in different strengths. I'm not actually sure.
God, I don't know.
Because there is a big cloud above her, so she could be drawing from that.
That's true. Okay, well, anyway, obviously these things can't be quantified exactly unless they were to, I don't know, in an SBS, to clarify who's got the stronger lightning powers or something.
What's the voltage of Big Mama's attack?
I mean, I'm kind of curious. I would like to know. It'd be fun to compare the two of them. They could talk about all kinds of unnecessary bullshit in the SBS. Seems like a fine question to ask. Whose lightning powers are stronger? Because you'd sure feel bad for Eneru if he's just like his one thing and he's not even as good as Big Mom at that one thing, even though she's got like a million other powers too. Okay, doesn't matter. Point is, lightning is going everywhere. It hit Zoro, but he's definitely still alive. Oh, and it hits Luffy too. Luckily, Luffy is made of rubber, so it does nothing, of course. Yes. And he's fine.
This did obviously remind me of the Eneru fight.
Also, by the way, it seems to hit... I see a lightning strike here where it hits Kid's mech. I remember that Kid's mech is made of metal, so would it really do a good job at blocking it particularly?
Maybe he grounded... no, he's just in it. He's just completely touching the mech.
You know what? To be fair, I see in this one panel, the hand is blocking it. I know that his hands are actually floating separately from like the center of the mech on his thing.
That's true, yeah.
So I'm just saying, maybe that is the explanation as to why it didn't do anything. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Everyone's getting fucked up.
I think that's
Luffy.
The implication is that like the lightning is touching that, and then a little individual Prometheus face comes in and zaps him directly.
Adorable.
Luffy is unaffected by the lightning, and he explains so with his patented "I'm made of rubber" lol phrase, and then he gets blast breathed by Kaido, and he's still fine enough to at least do a Kong Gatling. And the reason he's fine is because he's just got guts, and that's the funny, like, well, it's not necessarily supposed to be funny, it's supposed to be, like, intense.
It's a little funny.
Cool.
I mean, it's like a misdirect. They're like, whoa, he's immune to lightning. Whoa, he's immune to fire. And it's like, nope, just, that really hurt. I'm just going to, deal with it. Ooh, it reminds me of a great bit from the opening of Lawrence of Arabia. If there's any classic film buffs out there. Lawrence, when he's talking to his fellow officers, he's like, hey, guys. They're like, hey, show us the trick, Lawrence. And he pulls out a match and he lights it. And then he puts it out with his fingers. He just closes his fingers over it. And he opens his hand and he's all right. They're like, how do you do that? And they're like, he just explains, the trick is to not care that it hurts. That's all it is. And that's what Luffy's doing here. He just doesn't care. Because he's got to punch this man many, many times. And so he does. And that's the end of the chapter.
Hooray.
Hooray. All right, let's go straight on to the next one. Might as well. Chapter 1003, The Night Reflected on a Go Board. All right, Gib, what happens?
Okay, so punching commences from the Gatling. He punches him, and then he continues to punch him. There's so many punches that happen on Kaido. He's getting punched left and right, and everybody's watching. He's like, oh my god, these punches are so big. Big Mom's like pogging, but like a sad pog, like a scared pog, and fucking.
It's true.
And then he finishes it off with a big super punch, and he smashes Kaido's head into the skull dome, and everyone's impressed. Everyone claps. Kaido's dead. That's it.
Looks that way. Thank God we've achieved victory at last. And there's Luffy letting out his air. So Gear 4th deactivated. Luffy is in recovery mode now. He used everything on that big Gear 4th Gatling, as we know. He only has a certain time limit. Looks like Phase 1 of Luffy's fight is done. He needs to recharge, presumably for at least a Phase 2. If not beyond that, when he recovers. I think he needs at least 10 minutes, they say, right?
Yeah, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So I think what happens from now is, the rest of the guys take turns trying to protect Luffy. Mostly Zoro, I think. Zoro takes him at first.
Yep, blocks him from a Big Mom motherly fire slash with her nice hat Napoleon. I like that guy.
Yeah. So Killer and Kid are gonna take out Kaido while this is happening because of Luffy doing all those big hits. It did some damage. They're gonna take the initiative. Law jumps up to Big Mom and does something. He does countershock and presumably hurts. I don't know exactly what is going on.
Countershock was a move we've seen before where Law runs, like the defibrillators that you use in an operating room to restart a heart or whatever. It appears to be that. He just gives you like an electric shock by like putting his hands on you. So he gives her a shock, it seems.
He's got like the fake joke like handshake buzzer and he puts that on her. He zaps her a little bit.
It was pretty effective against, I know he did it to, I think Doflamingo and I think Virgo at least once. Yeah, anyway, boom, hits him. But more importantly, Kaido here is pulling out a new bag of his bag of tricks. That bag within the bag is full of Dragon Twister tornadoes. There you go. He's got weather powers. He's a dragon. And he's making tornadoes to fuck everybody up.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Dragon, as far as I know, like dragons, Momonosuke can create clouds in order to climb and fly.
Yep.
And I presume that sort of, with Kaido having the main fruit that's derived from, also has control over weather in order to fly. And
well, first of all, we don't actually... for the record, we don't know that Momonosuke's is derived from Kaido's. We've assumed that up to this point, I think, which is a fair assumption.
It wasn't it was a fruit made in Punk Hazard.
It was yeah, that's right. It was a quote unquote failed artificial devil fruit made not by Caesar Clown but by Vegapunk. And of course, because we know that operation was related to Kaido, a lot of people assume that it was Kaido's devil fruit. But for the record, Kaido ate the Koi mythical devil fruit and looks like a dragon. I don't know if that necessarily means that he looked like a dragon from the start, or that it followed like the Japanese myth of a koi climbing a waterfall turning into a dragon. There could be some shenanigans there. I'm just saying there are a couple of reasons to doubt that that Momonosuke's devil fruit is necessarily made directly from Kaido's. It could be something else, potentially. It could be like the real dragon devil fruit or something. I don't know.
Well, regardless, Kaido definitely seems to have control of wind with his wind blasts from his mouth that cut like, slice, like a slicing wind. And now a tornado, a Dragon Twister, he can just conjure up somehow.
Dragon Twister is a shit move in Pokemon, if I remember. No, it's just called Twister, but it is a dragon move, and it sucks. It does like 20 power damage or 40 power. I hate that move. Dragon Claw is way better. And this move also sucks, because it doesn't do anything specific, and Zoro immediately cucks him back with his own big Dragon Twister as he's about to... Actually, he gets Luffy in his mouth. He is eating him, but luckily Zoro comes in hot and heavy with a big old Odin Sword Twister move to counter his Twister. We've seen him use this move in the past. So it's like, haha, who's got the bigger Dragon Twister move? In this case, Zoro wins. And he knocks him out and cuts him, and everyone's like, whoa, we actually fucking cut Kaido. God damn.
Yeah, so the first time he's managed to pierce Kaido's flesh with his Odin sword, the Odin something, the special.
Yep, seems that way.
I don't think we'll ever really know whether it's Odin or Zoro who's doing the cutting exactly. I guess
a combination. I would assume
you could say it's all Zoro, and the sword is just like a +1. I don't know.
Well, I mean, hey, maybe it's that like the sword has a certain power level that anybody could use, but you have to have a certain level of chutzpah. I mean, we've seen when he first got the sword, it attempts to drain your haki when you use it, and you have to like resist that successfully. So, he's like earned the right to use it by being strong enough. Your average run-of-the-mill fuckboy wouldn't be able to handle it. But they talk about how they can feel Odin's power, and there's been this discussion of people who use swords like turn the blades black with their power, so there's definitely some Odin power in there, helping out Zoro to a degree.
I guess it's always been the case, now that I think about it, that Zoro is not just himself, he is his blades, then they are extensions of himself.
That's true. And
so
to be fair, I mean, Luffy
if he loses
is
them all, he
devil fruit.
can't do anything. Yeah.
Although we have seen Zoro occasionally use no sword style. And I think he actually did a Dragon Twister with no swords one time, but just, like, did the move, which presumably was not as effective. But
just spins around punching.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so boom. Kaido's getting pretty fucking pissed off. He does another round of shooting blades everywhere. Everyone's getting fucked up. Nobody dies specifically, and they're just fending off these blows. But now it's time to transition and talk to some other characters. Obviously, there's a big battle raging. We get a couple of reaction bits. And now some characters are talking about how, one, we now have seen Lord Orochi with his head on the ground. Again, I think a lot of us aren't totally convinced that a man who ate the Hydra fruit, an animal known for survival of decapitation specifically, that he might in fact not be dead permanently. But these people are saying that he's dead. This feast we were invited to is a battlefield now. Blah, blah, blah. The clash between this generation and Kaido was inevitable after Doflamingo went down. Blah, blah, blah. Fates conspiring to make people allies, etc., etc. It's CP0. They're here observing what's going on. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think CP0 has actually, done anything as long as we've seen them. They've observed from the shadows.
Yeah, they're definitely a more of a observation information sort of gathering. Like, we hold all the cards, we have, knowledge is power, that sort of thing. I'm sure that if they were in an actual fight, they'd be strong as well, but...
Right.
They're so smart, they don't need to fight.
I mean, hey, that's the smart way to live if you can, and that's their role, clearly. I actually appreciate that they've been aloof in this position. We don't really know much about them, but, they serve their purpose just fine.
I do wonder about Orochi, because this is
You think he might be dead for real?
Well, it's the first time we've seen Orochi since the decapitation happened.
That's true.
If he was secretly alive, the next time you would imagine at least that the next time he appears would be, you would see him alive. And it's like, huh? We thought he was dead. It's like, no, I was alive because of my Hydra power.
My instincts tell me they're continuing the misdirection by characters think he's dead. Everyone, they're talking, they're acting as though... My genre savviness is telling me that there's a bit more to Orochi. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
There could be. Well, earlier I was thinking there was... because there was Orochi's men, and then there was Kaido's men, and there was Kanjuro, who was loyal to Orochi, who we have not seen yet since his death. We didn't even see his fight, I think.
Lol, loved that.
Yeah, so there was always that in the air.
I think he might come back too. I don't know.
Kanjuro, if he comes back, you might find Orochi's body and do something to make him come back somehow. I just feel like...
I mean, that'd be cool, actually. That'd be an interesting twist. Makes an ink version of him or revives him with some weird use of power. I'm
not sure whether Orochi himself is alive, but I obviously don't know the rules of his Dragon Devil Fruit. If his head is cut off...
they haven't told us, yeah.
And with the Hydra, you cut the head off, and then another one sprouts. There's two sprout. As far as I remember, the only way to kill him is to slice off all the heads, or it's to stop slicing off the heads and do something else. I can't remember.
Attack the body or something. The heart. I don't know.
Get the heart. If the Hydra is the heads keep multiplying, but if you kill all of the heads at once, then he's dead. I don't know. I'll have to look into it.
We're going to get back to this guy one way or another. They'll either... Well, I guess it's possible. It feels to me almost impossible we could be now past the Orochi story. Even if he's dead, there will be some, culmination of what that character has done and, his impact on the world. And I feel that is just such a... I mean, frankly, I feel a little bit ridiculous seriously considering that he's actually dead. To me, it feels so strongly that he is not dead because his plot really just got so abruptly, quote-unquote, cut off. I feel like some resolution has to come, and we just didn't get any. But I really can only speculate until we actually get there, I guess.
What resolution would that be necessarily, do you think? If he came back, what would happen? What scene
the entire plot line of the Korozumi's like, trying to take back power and the injustice they felt was done to them, like, does there have to be some discussion of, like, Orochi finally making his case to, like, you know, Momonosuke of, like, my family was, you know, fucked over, it wasn't fair what was done to us? I like, we've heard the general points. It just doesn't feel like there's really been the conversation about that, where Orochi got to kind of, like, be a real character. He was always being puppeted, and I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I think there's a way to think about it is that those backstory moments were to make the audience understand why he does what he does and why he betrayed Odin and why he did all this stuff. But
sure.
After that point, like, nobody knows his family history except the audience. He hasn't.
Well, here's a question.
But it could just end like this. That could have just been like an explanation for his actions. But he was a small player in a larger game.
That's fair. I would think everybody would agree. He was a fairly large character in Wano. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the largest character who was cut off the most unceremoniously in the way that, Orochi was? Because I would stipulate that, like, Orochi right now is by far the most, like, undercut narrative of a character in all of One Piece, if it were to end this way. And just based on that rule, it probably isn't true. A series follows a pattern. Generally, they give answers, even if if he's really dead, but there will be, like, more said about him. That would be one way to handle it. But it just seems very unlikely to me. That's enough about Orochi. You know, I think we've made our points on
I do
man.
think, though, if it so happens that Kanjuro does something, if he's still alive and he does something to his loyalty to Orochi and that plays a part, that would be interesting. I would like to see that.
I agree. Because Kanjuro also got totally cut. He has such a cool devil fruit. We finally saw some cool things he was doing. And, it's Wano. I just complain, oh my god, it's all samurai with their boring sword techniques and animal people and their boring techniques. Finally you get, like, Inkman doing actually cool attacks and stuff and killed off screen. Fuck! Don't do that!
I think that is, like, more of an argument. Like, so that's more of a clear, like, cut-off character than Orochi.
Yeah.
I guess Orochi didn't get a fight either, but I don't know.
It's just that Kanjuro is a less important to the narrative character, even though thematically he's quite important, and I would like to see him get to do more. Okay, anyway, you people all know the score. We all hope to see more from these guys if there's a chance to. Point is, CP0 here is just, they're reflecting on, like, holy shit, 2 Yonko are fighting some dudes. Now, there's no possible way 2 Yonkos could lose and fall and the other guys could win. But if they did, that sure would be a big change for the world. And we get some discussion of, like, the numbers here. So the invaders had 5,400 men, 400 are down. That's roughly 10%, like 9% or something. Whereas the pirates here and their, samurai allies, they have 30,000 men. They've already had 3,000 casualties. So if these numbers just continued in exactly this same rate, our heroes would win because they have lost a slightly smaller percentage than these other guys. They're able to defeat, like, a force like 6 times their size. Okay, but whatever. They make a clear point here, and I understand what they're doing here. They're like, okay, Kaido and the gang do just have way bigger numbers. So what really matters is if our characters, on the go board, this is the metaphor being used, they need to, take out the executives, because if that doesn't happen, then they'll be able to swarm them with their superior numbers. So basically, I think what this is being used for is just a narrative thing of, like, yes, we have talked about here and in the show about how, like, the enemies have way bigger numbers. That's never really been a big problem for our characters before. But this is a Yonko crew, so it matters at least a little bit. But if our important characters like Frankie and Robin and Nami and Usopp and Luffy, if they just defeat the executives, that will turn the tide. And that is, like, the way that we win the battle. And that, coincidentally, that's how you make a shonen exciting and good. One-on-one fights. So please, Oda, please get to them as fast as possible. And I think that's what he's setting us up for. Thank God.
Yes. It was always known that this would happen, and it took a while to pair everyone off, but I think pairing off has seriously begun, or at least definitely
It
for
seems that
Frankie.
way.
Soon it'll be for Robin and Brooke.
Yep.
Yeah, and obviously the
Sanji
guys
needs
at the
to find
top are
someone...
fighting.
Yeah.
The guys, yeah.
I mean, hey, we'll see. But luckily, this does look like a positive change, but or a positive direction for the way I like things to go. And whatever, this Marine guy is just like the CP9's like, yeah, kill each other, pirates. Either way, the world government wins, which is true. I mean, the Yonko are not affiliated with the world government; they are in fact opposing forces. But here at the end of the chapter, everyone's like, what's going on here? What's going on here? Kaido's pulling out his hybrid form, and we can see his scaly hand. He's shrouded in mystery. They're saving the reveal for a future chapter, and we're finally going to see this much-anticipated Kaido form. I am hoping and praying for a gag, for a fish face. Please do the koi payoff. Come on, baby. That's what I want.
He's going to have big, like, Magikarp lips. And whiskers.
I would love that.
Bug eyes. Yeah, it's something silly.
I mean, because Kaido has been so serious and scary. It's the perfect time for it, and Oda is good at that stuff. So I'm hoping that we see that. Either way, that's it. That's it for the rest of our time. We don't really cut back to these gang until maybe next chapter or something. I mean, after like we're done on this show, there's no more discussion of these guys. So hope you've had your fill of Big Mom, Kaido, and the gang for today. But we continue our journey. Oh Christ. Okay, there's a fucking like a One Piece Ace side chapter thing about Ace that came out.
Yeah. I mean,
look, it's
that.
not bad.
It was nice.
Oh God. Okay, it's
we
art's
don't,
by
we don't need
Boichi.
to talk about it.
Right. The art is very nice. If you like Ace, give it a read. It is enjoyable. Does it add anything narratively? Almost nothing. And obviously, they can't put any narrative weight in here because it's not real One Piece. It's a side story. So read it if you have time. Kind of fun. All right, real stuff. Chapter 1004.
I would recommend it for the art. It's cool.
The art is great. Don't get me wrong. The art, I love Boichi. I love Dr. Stone's art. It looks fantastic. Ace looks great sometimes. There's a great shot of Ace looking up at the clouds, which are like shaped like Gold Roger's face, which is, it's symbolic. His father looks over him like Mufasa from the Lion King Afterlife. Whitebeard looked great. Characters look great. What do you want? That's Boichi for you. Okay. Chapter 1004, Gibbontake. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Chopper, monkey, squirrels. Who cares? They're having snacks. Okay, great.
All right,
so here's Speedweed. There she is. What's your deal?
Speed, the Smile, the headliner. That's the one.
Yep.
Horse Smile lady, who was a danger way back at the beginning of Wano, and ate a Gibbontake and became a subservient slave willingly and for free to Otama.
Well, you say willingly, but she was fed a Gibbontake that made her that way, right?
True. I guess it's not willingly. It's always been a bit of a weird, like their brain chemistry is completely changed.
It seems a little fucked up, but it's happening.
Yeah, imagine if Otama was a villain, how dangerous this would be.
It's incredibly dangerous, but maybe slip one of those in Kaido's mouth. Battle over.
Absolute
possibly.
Loyalty. The most powerful of all. But yeah,
Indeed.
she Speed brought her over because Otama wanted to help.
Yep.
And she got her speedboat with a horse head. Looks cool.
Sure did. Looks great.
and Otama just made hundreds upon hundreds of Gibbontake, which really hurts. It looks like it hurts every time. I don't like looking at the panel of her ripping her cheek off.
Ripping off her cheek. Yeah, what if she just can't do it once and just pulls on her cheek too hard? Fuck. That'd be unfortunate.
But yeah, she's making Gibbontake. The thing as soon as her devil fruit was revealed as a way to potentially, as soon as it changed Speed into a loyal friend, servant, ally, whatever, there was, ideas.
We called this from the beginning that this was a thing that could be the Beast Pirates.
The Beast Pirates is like fits together so obviously. When is she going to give one of those to Kaido? What will happen? It is notable, I think, that the only people that have been converted is a good word, so far is smile users, not necessarily devil fruit users. These are people who are permanently sort of an animal.
That's true.
But with the gazelle man that we saw way back.
Yep.
And the scorpion man from the prison. They go around throwing these little balls to all of the other gifters all over the place. And they spiral out of control, getting tons and tons of the enemy on the good guy's side, which is really funny.
Yeah, and I mean, last chapter they were going over numbers, right? There's currently left, on the go board they had 27,000, bad guys and 5,000 good guys. Obviously the numbers aren't good, although the fight's going pretty well so far. But maybe that was because they had the element of the surprise at the beginning. But if they can not only take out enemies, but actively convert enemies to their side, because there's a lot of grunt troops. The Smiles are actually more elite troops, generally speaking. So, that's actually a fairly valuable resource they'd be able to pull on their side for quality troops this way. So, this advantage has been turned into a weakness and can actively get more of the numbers on their side, and they could really make a big fucking difference. And they already start to at least a little bit in this very chapter. So, this power, obviously, big advantage, and they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. So good job, guys.
When it comes to things like Queen and King, and Jack, and the higher level, what are they called? The guy that Frankie's fighting,
All-Stars?
All-Stars.
Yeah, and the Flying Six.
Flying Six, that's what I mean. Yeah, those guys, they're all gonna be not necessarily immune. It would be funny if they aren't immune, but probably a bit too OP if they could change King's allegiance.
My instinct tells me that it probably it would be conveniently worked out if it just didn't work on devil fruits, because they're not maybe they could just turn back to human or something, and then or maybe it just doesn't work at all. It only works on Smiles, because conveniently all the high power people have eaten normal devil fruits, and it's the lower people. So that would be one way to deal with this. But also I would be perfectly fine if someone's his hockey's too strong. He can't be he's got Hao Shoku Haki. He can't be under the influence of the Kibidango. He's too mentally strong or something. That would also certainly be a fine explanation, but they should address it at some point, certainly. Otherwise, that would be a very good thing to try on Kaido, just to see if it works. Because if it does, that'd be good. It would be
a really funny moment if they throw one of those into his mouth, and then while he's in dragon form, or hybrid form, as he is currently.
Whoa.
He's I'm friends with Otama now, but if he turns back into a human form, he's I hate Otama. Let me power up and kill her. Oh, now I'm friends with her again.
Hey, here's an idea, all of a sudden. We've been kind of thinking of ways to end this conflict in a way that doesn't kill Kaido and keeps Kaido maybe a bit of a threat, but I don't know, whatever. Doesn't kill him, but explains why he would leave Wano or something. The Kibidango ending of making Kaido best friends with Otama. Maybe he still hates the Straw Hats and kind of wants to fight him, but he's willing to help Otama out by leaving Wano and stuff. I don't really like that idea. I'm just saying it's theoretically possible that could be relevant. So maybe it will work on Devil Fruits, at least a little bit, which would probably make her the most powerful person in the world, possibly, or among them.
If she has potential dominion over every devil fruit user that is a beast devil fruit.
Yeah, every Zoan or something. But I mean, we don't know that's the case, so I guess we'll find out.
I imagine it's just going to work on the Smiles because they're permanently an animal of some
kind. It might work
kind.
on Chopper. He's an animal.
Oh, that'd be funny. Oh, he's already
Although
friends with
he does have the human devil fruit, though. Well, that's true. He's normally... Maybe it would have no effect because he's already friends with her. But then again, that's if I'm friends with someone... and then I feed them a Kibidango, for example, and then I don't know, fuck their wife, so that normally they wouldn't like me anymore, but I gave them a Kibidango, so they still like me. And I'll just keep doing this. I'll keep stealing from them and fucking them over, and they have to be my friend and do things for me. This is dark territory that Otama's getting into. I hope it doesn't go to her head. All right, anyway, fights are happening. Frankie versus Rhino Man. Frankie is a Rhino Man, so it's an apt matchup. Shooting him, hitting him. Okay, whatever. The point of this is he's fighting a guy. There's not that much to say. They're both big, strong guys.
They're just going to headbutt each other, and it's this guy's strong. And there's these annoying little guys that are forcing me to stand still so that I take
this
the
is
hits.
They're outnumbered, and the guys are making this point that, like, yeah, you idiots came somewhere where you're vastly outnumbered, so of course our little forces will all gang up on you, and we'll be able to kill you with our overwhelming numbers. And here comes Usopp and Nami and Otama, and they're like, oh god, we're being chased too by also overwhelming numbers. But actually, it was Legambit, and these converted forces that Otama was able to get on their side, they actually help counter this, and they beat up the guy, and Frankie's able to not get killed.
They beat up the armored corps,
right.
and they also transmogrify them into friends. They convert them as well. It's really like a zombie apocalypse, but a good one.
It's true. Only a good guy one for once. How nice. So, and let's see. We've got Ulti and Page One are chasing behind, Nami and Usopp as they were, and they're really mad. They're real pissed that this is happening. Nami gets a big old lightning blast again, I believe, off on Ulti, who gets fucked over again. But they say, oh, that was only a little blast. It knocked her down, but it won't be long. And in fact, she gets up immediately. Usopp is over here sniping these fucking dango into people's mouths, converting them faster than anybody else can.
Perfect use of his skill in this moment.
It is. It's
and
great.
It
like when he
reminds
was
me...
shooting salt in Thriller Bark.
Yes, I was just going to say, the Thriller Bark salt technique.
Yeah, that was great. Nice to see Usopp getting to do, like, technically proficient stuff. Like, of course, when he super sniped, Sugar through the wall to save Law and Luffy in Dressrosa.
Makes me think. Otama, her ability, it doesn't go away if she gets knocked out, does it?
I don't. That is a common rule that you see sometimes when someone has a control, like Sugar, for example. She got knocked out. It just reverted everybody. I don't think Otama has been knocked out, so it's possible that would do that, because that seems to be a general rule of powers of that sort. So maybe it works that same way. I don't know.
I guess it is kind of interesting trying to think Sugar obviously would have had to go to sleep, so she would have been unconscious at points.
Right.
All the toys stayed toys, so getting knocked out is different. Yeah, so
it's
we
a bit
haven't
of a
seen
shonen
that happen
distinction,
to
I
Otama.
think. Yeah, it's definitely a bit if it were real, I don't know if it would necessarily work this way. But for manga logic, when you defeat them, meaning they pass out or lose their will or something, then I guess they relinquish control or something. So I bet I'm just gonna bet that if you beat up Otama and defeated her in combat, it would undo her control. But maybe not. Who knows? I guess we'll see.
I also want to point out Nami saying, "Oh, that won't keep her down for long." When she zaps Ulti, the Thunderbolt would have to be way bigger. And we know Nami has previously been in control of Poseidon. No, is it Poseidon?
Zeus, you mean Zeus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Zeus, and Zeus is here, and he's up there, and he's also doing big lightning right now. I wonder if that matchup could happen again, and Ulti could be defeated.
That's certainly possible. I don't know whether it'll necessarily involve Zeus. Zeus is pretty busy helping Big Mom fight the gang. But regardless, Nami, I do feel like they're still setting up event. I'm kind of getting a little anxious. Okay, I hope this happens. I want the Usopp and Nami versus Ulti and Page One paired off by themselves. Actual shonen matchup. That would be epic. I would love that. So please get to that as soon as possible. And Nami often in the past has done the thing where she used lots and lots and lots of clouds and builds it up over a few minutes while people are doing other stuff, and then it's a big watch out for thunder forecast. Well, bam, big thunder zap. So that could happen too. But
I
Zeus
definitely
could be
feel like if there's any situations, Ulti is wearing a thing over her mouth, so she can't get a thing thrown in her, which would be a funny way to deflect that. And she seems to realize that they're doing something to make all of the gifters change sides.
Right.
So if she and Page One are chasing them, Nami and Usopp would have to defend Otama from Ulti.
Ooh, yeah. That'd be a good setup.
So in order to make sure the gifters stay on the good side and that Otama is okay, they will have to fight and defeat Ulti once and for all, which would cause them to actually stand and fight.
That is a very good idea, and I hope they do that. That sounds good. And of course, Frankie here is fighting this Sasaki Rhino Man, gives him an old victory slash, because I'm the one you're fighting. So those two seem pretty paired up pretty solidly. And speaking of pair-ups, we've got Sanji here in the web. I don't think... No, we did see him captured before. Captured by Black Maria. She's got him. She's all tickling him and stuff, making fun of him. And while he beat up a lot of men, as we know, he has something of a weakness for the ladies. And he is not able to hit any of them, so of course he's been captured. And now they're saying, hey, call Nico Robin in here, handsome, or we'll kill you and stuff. Because we need Nico Robin to read poneglyphs, and she could be useful, blah, 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 blah. Bring her in here. But Sanji's like, don't underestimate Nico Robin. She's pretty cool. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yes.
And the final thing that happens this chapter is just we've got one of the spy flying squirrel, ninja man, lady person, is like, hey, found the red scabbards. They're on the rooftop. They're all bloody and in this room. And they're still breathing, but we got to go kill them. So now we've got a new mission for King or anybody who's free. Just go wipe out the red scabbards who are in like this holding room, elsewhere in the treasure room or whatever. So right, King's busy, but they're like, somebody go there and kill him. So now there's a new thing going on with that. Black Maria's busy. Oh, okay, sorry. I was going to get to a point here, but I guess there's a little bit of stuff going on. Like, Black Maria won't go because she's busy. She's like, somebody else go. Sanji, whatever. Oh, no, Kinemon's going to die. Please don't go. Okay, here we go. And here, the spy person counts 10 people in the room. And I believe there were 9 samurai total.
Yes.
So they can't see clearly, but there's someone additional in the room helping them. So a mysterious figure that we seemingly don't know. I have a theory as who this is. You got any theories about this?
Well, I was looking at this silhouette, trying to
indeed.
think. I don't know if I immediately recognize that nose or like that strand of hair. So I kind of blanked on this. I don't really know who it could be. So
I don't blame you. I had a thought and I compared, and it does seem to add up. The hair thing seems consistent. Excuse me. It's a little weird given what we've been informed, but there is some mystery around it that could make it make sense. Here's the thought. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I've got an even better idea. Okay, my first thought was literally Toki, as in the time-traveling wife of Odin, somehow came from the past with time travel powers and is here, and didn't die in the fire, but actually continued. But then again, she said, this is where I die, not going to do it again. That's probably not true. But now all of a sudden I'm thinking, and you know who looks a lot like Toki? Her daughter... whose name Hiyori. It could be Hiyori. The hair thing, I believe, is similar to what Hiyori has because she looks just like her mom. So, why would she be alone here? How did she get here? I don't know. I'm sure they would explain this in, some kind of...
She didn't go
some
with
kind of thing.
Orochi to the party, did she?
She does. No. She was totally separate in hiding. And I think there was a hint that Orochi knew where she was, but we never actually saw him go get her or anything like that. And for the record, I just double checked. Hiyori does have the weird hair strands on the side of her head, and we can see what looks like a tear. So this looks like a fairly feminine silhouette. It could not be. It seems to match up Hiyori's build. The hair strands seem to match her. She certainly has plot-relevant reasons to be here, potentially. I don't know this for sure, but this is my best bet that it's Hiyori.
Yeah. I don't know how she could have got there, but
Me
didn't
neither.
know how Otama got here until just now, so...
Yep. I would have no explanation. I mean, maybe some of, Orochi's men kidnapped her, as they were talking about planning to do, and brought her here just, fairly fast. And then when Orochi got killed and panic happened, she had an opportunity to escape or something. I don't know. All theories, but this is what I'm going with for now. I'm sure we will find out before too long more about this. It's obviously somebody who cares about the red scabbards and would be crying over them when they're all wounded in this room. So
Hiyori seems like the safest bet.
I think so. Okay, and now our final new chapter that we will be discussing today is chapter 1005, Devil Child, Akuma no Kodomo.
And we've got a great little cover
Hell,
page
there he is.
With
Katakuri.
Sorry.
Katakuri.
I went Kinemon. I was like, no, that's not it. It starts with a K.
A lot of Ks.
But he's munching on a big old donut. Love to see it.
Hanging out with some cats, drinking milk, loving. He's doing it. I mean, he's not showing anybody. We don't see any other people. You know, I was looking at this, and, you know, Katakuri, best character in all of One Piece. Surprisingly deep, beloved, honorable hero to men and women alike. He is eating out in public. I was kind of hoping to see, like, people around, because him eating with his face out would be like, oh, look, Katakuri, maybe he's changed a little bit, and, like, he's willing to show his face off. This particular thing only has him with animals, so it doesn't, like, inform one way or another about his
Well, we
his
know for sure
that
he's not building a little house to hide inside anymore.
That's true. That's a fair point. And, you know, I just a small point. I am still burning inside for a Katakuri cover art. So I feel a little bit sad seeing this, in that seeing him on a cover page makes me feel like it's, like, less likely. Like, that would they pick him if they were going to do a cover arc with him anytime soon? That doesn't mean anything. Just a little instinct I have. But, I love you, Katakuri. It's just great to see him in general. Please do a cover arc, Oda. I want to know what him and the boys are up to. Okay, that's
I really wonder what the next one could be about. If it's not Katakuri,
could be anything.
It could be fucking anything. There's so many things going on.
Katakuri would be a great choice. Yeah, Katakuri, like, fleeing would I think be an excellent choice, especially if Oda wanted to do something dramatic, like if he thought it was good for the character, like, to actively leave the Big Mom Pirates because he, like, fulfills his arc of realizing that, like, his family's fucked up and he doesn't owe them stuff and they don't treat him right. So, you know, like, that would be really cool. And I would love that. Other than that, I mean, who knows? Could be anything. There's a lot going on in the world.
I just keep forgetting, like, Big Mom's crew is here. They're just, like, not at the battle.
They're on a ship, right. And again, just to refresh everybody's memory, I mean, we see Katakuri here. You know, this is probably non-canon. We did not see Katakuri among the crew. Very notably, he is the most prominent member of Big Mom's crew, for sure. And he was not in the group shot. So that certainly seems telling that he's either still recovering or has left, or, you know, something else is going on with him. Or maybe Oda was saving him for a reveal. Who knows?
It could be something. Yeah, either. I think a reveal would be the coolest way.
Sure.
But it could just be something as banal as, like, he's left home to watch over the whole Cake Island because he's, like, the second strongest of the crew.
Yeah.
Or something, while Big Mom's gone or something.
God, I love you, Katakuri. I miss you.
Maybe it could be a cover arc of him being in charge of Whole Cake for a little while.
Oh, that would be fine and would be fun. And maybe he does cute things like, Big Mom's gone, I'm turning every island into Donut Island. Fuck all those other things we make. He just, this is the real revolt he was building to the whole time, specifically this game.
He just wants more donuts and pudding's there.
The rest of the crew isn't there to stop him. He can run rampant there. All the powerful people are with Big Mom's ship right now. So go for it. He's
probably just got all the many children.
Oh, that's true.
The younger children.
I think. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Katakuri's a great guy. Go read the part of One Piece about him. That was sure a good part. So we are now back. Okay, Black Maria and the gang. We're back with, hey, do me a favor, Mr. Blackleg. Call your old buddy Nico Robin in here. Incidentally, I am a spider bitch. I have laid down a lot of spider webs, including something called hard gum, which will ensnare people. And it's really good.
It's a spider's web. Have you heard of such a thing?
It's what I do. It's who I am. And here she goes. She puts on some cool brass knuckles and gives him a big old punch to torture him a little bit, to get him to to call Robin. And of course, all the girls are like, oh God. He's so strong. He's so handsome. He's so brave. I'm falling for him because he's protecting the women, and he's being a gallant man, not calling out. He'll probably say, he goes like, oh, how am I supposed to get a word in? Oh, he'll probably say go to hell. But no, he says, Robin, I'm a little pissy baby. I shit my diaper. Please come change me, Robin, please.
I love this so much. It was nice. It's a flip of the trope of Sanji.
Yep.
And not doing the emasculating thing, I guess, screaming for a woman to save him, and everyone's like, what? I can't believe it. How could he do such a thing?
Indeed.
But it's actually, as we learn a little later, it's because he doesn't want to use his armament haki to defend himself, because she's using her fists, and that might hurt her hand.
Lol.
So he's
fair.
actually so manly that he was going to die, and he needs a woman to save him, which is epic.
I mean, strategically, it's just a fact that Sanji can't fight women no matter what. It
Absolutely.
never works out.
Yeah.
He can run away. That's an option, potentially, but he can't hit them. This is just an ironclad rule of Sanji. It is what it is. Okay, cool. And this, I suppose, he's becoming more respectful. I mean, I don't know if it's... I think it's part of it that he's like, you know what? I mean, Robin says... I mean, we'll get to it, but she's like, thanks for trusting me, Sanji, that you don't think... It's not that he thinks women are helpless. It's that he can't hit them. He can't do it. He doesn't have the balls.
I think it's a different situation than once that's ever happened before, because he did let Nami take over the fight with Khalifa back in Eni's lobby. Mm-hmm. So it's not like he doesn't trust his female... nakama, or to be strong enough to fight. It's just that he cannot do the fighting of, he can't hit a woman.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So this is like, you think Robin's such a little pissy bitch that she'll just step on a spider web? That's stupid. It's Robin.
Sanji gets some shit about this sometimes, but I don't know. I'm sure there's different interpretations, but I've never really got the sense in any... You could say that it's like patronizing the fact that he won't hit a woman. I get that. That makes some sense. But it's never been that he thinks that they are less capable. I mean, maybe there's an element of that there. Like he would hit a man because he thinks they won't die. It seems more out of respect to me. So it's positive discrimination a little bit.
I feel like it's obviously drawing from that sort of ideal of like,
the chivalrous.
I'm the chivalrous man, I do. But I feel like Sanji, with the way it's been handled so comedically every time, is that he just thinks men are gross and will beat the shit out of them. It's not
That's
that
definitely true.
It's not that they're weaker than women. It's just that they're ugly and I'll beat the shit out of them. But I can't hit a woman because I like them.
It is what it is. Whatever. Sanji, he seems like a decent guy to me, so whatever. Fuck it. I've seen his actions. He is a good person. You can have your interpretation if you want to, people. That's up to you. So, boom. We've got Sanji screaming for Mommy to come help him. And there he goes, yelling specifically, we are on the 3rd floor, banquet hall. I'm being held hostage. Gomen aside. Sorry about this, guys. And everyone reacts with how embarrassing this is. I like that we get Chopper of the Straw Hats is like, oh god, Sanji. And then we get this guy who breathes gas from the Kid Pirates. So the different crews are reacting. He's like, oh god, pathetic. And then Beppo of the
you see
of the
that guy in
Pirates.
the foreground of that guy, that one panel? How pathetic, and that one guy's like, you serious? Dude, you serious right
Big
now?
bro moment, bro. That's big oof. Yeah, we show all three through crews reacting to it. I enjoy that. So everyone is seeing exactly how embarrassing. What if they, at the end of this arc, they lower Sanji's bounty because he famously cried like a baby for Mommy to come save him?
That would be really funny.
I would love that.
Oh, he'd get so angry.
Do it, Oda. Okay, oh yeah, if you don't come, Robin-chan, I'm gonna be killed. Tasukete kudasai. Okay, who else we got? Oh yeah, so Jinbei is like, oh, does he know everyone is listening to this? Yikes, bro. It's a trap. Frankie. I think Frank, I couldn't exactly tell which speech bubble is this, but I think it's Frankie being like, what kind of a man does this? Lol. How embarrassing.
I think that might be Frankie saying it.
That seems like something he would say, being the manly man he is.
He's the manliest of all.
And I don't know, Marco's
so
just
manly
laughs.
he will hit a woman. That's how manly he is.
That's true. He can't wait for the opportunity. That's what a real man does. But he will make out with them aggressively first as his first offensive tactic. And if that doesn't work, then he'll adopt other procedures. And of course, Nami rightly notices, like, oh god, seriously, he must be up against a woman, which is indeed correct. But they notice, like Usopp in here in the gang are like, oh, I hear this audio coming from these weird eye things. Seems like they've got a pretty cool communication system going on here. I assume at some point we're gonna target that and try to take it out because it sure seems advantageous to the enemy to see everything.
I wonder, later we find out that those things are cyborgs, so they're not like a devil fruit. So they say, talk into this lady's face with the eye thing, and everybody will hear you. So Sanji obviously doesn't have any power over this. He's just speaking into a microphone. So if Usopp gets a hold of one of these, I wonder what he could do to confuse the enemy.
information warfare, or maybe I don't know if this would work, but if like one of the controlled people gets under Otama's control, can be used to spread misinformation or something.
Yeah,
could
something
be
like that.
could be very useful. Okay, so reaction time. Black Maria's like, lol, he actually did it. How embarrassing. But they're like, oh, someone's coming. We can sense the approach of somebody. But we get this little speech of, the spider lady's like, now I just want you to be my pet because you're kind of kawaii. We see a bunch of guys also strung up in the back who presumably have been tortured for a while, so that they're like, we only love Black Maria-sama. This is what I do. She's a black widow. She's ensnaring these men. This is what she does literally, I guess. But Sanji's rebuttal to this is, I'm sorry, I can't be your pet. This is his defense against a woman trying to, take control of him, is, I can't, for I love all ladies. I cannot be, attached to any one woman
I cannot marry a woman, even though I almost did.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was forced in that situation. That was a slightly unusual situation there. But, here comes Black Maria, about to give him the big old punch. She's like, oh, I can't use arm hockey because it would hurt her. But then out of nowhere, well, bam, spank. Here comes big bitch Robin with her big old hands that are, as big as Black Maria, if not bigger. We've seen she can do that. Sorry, pause. I've got a large plane. Just give me 1 sec. I can see it appearing on the fucking thing. Okay, sorry about that. Just clap so this is clear to cut out. Okay. There she is. Robin is here. It's time to do stuff. And she slapped the shit out of her. So it's time. It's about to be a girl fight. Girl fight. Boo, 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 boo.
More importantly, a Nico Robin fight. When was the last time we've seen one of these?
Well, it's all about how it's done. They sure appear to be doing. Like, it's funny that, like, the first fight, it really feels like they're setting up here, is, like, Robin versus Black Maria. I mean, Brooke shows up immediately, too, as well, and helps Sanji escape. So it looks like it's actually Robin and Brooke. And Brooke will hit a woman. Let me tell you. It's like when they interviewed, that famous interview with Sean Connery, and they were like, Sean, what do you do when a woman's acting up? He's like, I just give her a good smack to the face. This is what you do.
An old man.
Because he's an old man. That's gotta be Brooke's attitude, too. Gotta love you, Sean. Rest in peace. Wait, is he dead? I think he is. Whatever. Not what we're discussing right now.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Maybe. Okay, never mind. Brooke, however, rest in peace, but also have a good fight because you're still alive despite being dead. So boom. There's Robin. She's doing her I don't like when people control my friends because I was controlled by organizations for a long time. It makes me angry.
Makes
it brings
me
out
mad.
the devil in me.
Okay,
and for the record, she looks great.
She
Close up on the eyes, looking sexy, looking fierce, loving it. Yes, queen.
Yes, and then Brook does come in with his ice blade cane, which is perfect to defeat the webs. So
ice is good for this, and he's an icy man.
Yeah, so it's a good matchup against the spider lady.
Yep. Incidentally, they say something like Nico Robin, how did you get in here or something? She said something very specific.
I can make my body bloom anywhere.
Right. So knowing Robin and her powers, the odds are that like this body standing here, like ensnare it in webs all you want, Robin's whole thing is making shadow clones. So like she could disappear and appear body elsewhere, and this is her whole thing she's been doing since the time skip. So I expect her to be ensnared, and then that will disappear because this is like her whole thing she does lately.
Robin would make a good Naruto fighter.
Well, that's certainly true.
With her technique is a lot more ninjutsu feeling than like a shonen pirate thing, if you know what I mean.
Although it's funny because Naruto itself is a lot less about assassinations and a lot more about one-on-one, like shonen battles.
Sure, I mean that's.
But
how
I know
it
what you
ended
mean.
up.
I know what you mean.
I'm thinking of like early time, like Shikamaru and all that, like special, like, you thought about this? Well, my shadow got you, and you didn't think about that, did you?
Right. In that way, you're absolutely right. Although Nico Robin does have a pretty high power level in general these days, so she'd be tough to beat in a ninja situation, considering she also has some high power attacks and big butt slams and big mommy milkers she can crush you with and whatnot.
She could make a giant like ass just to crush someone.
Yeah. Absolutely. She could encase you in a giant ass, and you will be squeezed to death by her powerful sphincter muscle. Please,
we can only hope.
Attempt that. Point is, Sanji humorously is like, guys, I don't know what it is, but I don't think I stand a chance here. They're like, yeah, we understand. This is the issue. For Brook, this is no obstacle whatsoever. He can't wait to have this fight. But here they go. We get some cool Robin posing, which is a little bit out of character from her to act this cool. But they're like, oh.
I mean, she's been waiting for a chance to act this cool.
That's true. She's been
saving the one-liners
for like the entire series. I'm not sure she's ever done a one-liner. This kind of has big, like Dressrosa, or not Dressrosa, big Fishman Island energy. When she was like, I love a man who's strong and handsome and cute like you, Jinbei. Just like a one-liner out of nowhere, like for fun. Not even getting into my deep, abiding hatred of Jinbei and how they should never have had her say that line. That's a story for another time. She's getting more into that, I guess, post-time skip. But here she's like, thanks, you made my day. Yeah. Thanks for counting on me. Wink. Adorable.
Yeah, it's being, like, cruel and cute at the same time.
Indeed. The power, the terror of women. We'll get back to the terror of women at the end of the chapter. But now we get that little discussion. So Momonosuke and Shinobu and, oh, God. Oh, shit. What's her name? The big one. I can't remember it all right now.
Kaidet.
Kaidet, right, thank you. Kaidet here is all like, oh my god, they've been spying on us. Okay, yeah, she gives us the information about these scouting unit called the Marys.
Yamato.
This is one of their cyborgs. Yamato, right, thank you. For incidentally, okay, so they're saying these are cyborgs. I don't get it. So every mouse, or every one of these counterparts is connected to one other counterpart, or like they're called the Marys. Are they connected to someone named Mary who I don't know yet? Or
it's a scouting unit called the Marys. This is one of the cyborgs. They usually wander aimlessly around the island. Everything they see is seen by their human counterparts.
But it's that plural. Human, like I thought it would be like one person who's like controlling all of them or something. I guess that's not
what it's saying is that each animal has a person, or
possible multiple animals to one person,
because we've seen at least a few people who speak.
Yeah, like the one that Sanji spoke into her face and stuff. I mean, that's not an animal. That was a human woman, as far as I could tell. I don't know. The point is, I'm a little confused about the specifics of this, but I get the gist. It's an information network that's being used to spy on people. Okay.
I wonder who built it. It may be Queen, because he's the engineer.
I feel maybe. I feel like they're gonna go into it. I think we'll meet Mary. Or something. We'll meet the person in charge, which I thought was that like flying squirrel girl, but I guess that's not the case. Or maybe she's one of them and there's multiple. Oh god, I don't know. I'm confused. Like, how do they work? Do they have like literal cameras installed of them if they're cyborgs? But cameras don't. I remind everyone, cameras don't exist in this world. Den Mushis exist that are able to transfer like video feeds are what people use for this stuff, and also snails in Wano. So maybe they do exist also? Okay, I'm a little confused about the technology.
It could be like a new brand of technology that...
Yeah, maybe Queen invented it or something, yeah.
Kaido, I mean, Vegapunk works for the world government. He doesn't work for any of the four emperors, does he?
That's correct.
Okay.
But Queen is a notable inventor man, I guess. I'm sure they'll go into it. No point in worrying about it too much. The intention is clear. I'm sure they will clarify in time. Point is, Momonosuke, Hiyori, and everybody are in trouble because they know they're there and they're banging on the door to get into the storeroom, and they've got to run because they're going to be found out. And so Momonosuke has no choice but to snuggle up in Yamato's boobs. Jesus Christ, why am I forgetting that? Everybody's new waifu. And boom, they break out because they're in trouble and they got to go escape and go do other stuff. I don't know exactly what this trio is like going to do right now. I guess just escape? Do they have like a particular goal or anything? Or just avoid Momonosuke's capture?
Previously, Yamato was just told by Luffy to defend Momonosuke, and so that's what she's going to do.
Right.
And they've just been compromised in their location. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're going anywhere in specific.
Yeah, I guess we wouldn't know yet.
But if they see any more of those cyborgs, they'd probably be seen again, so they'd have to keep running.
Okay, I'm sure that we'll address what this group is up to in time. I'm sure Momonosuke will like have a moment, be relevant before all this is done, and Yamato too, of course, at some point. Okay, so boom, via this communication line, our boy Jack has stitched his what do you call it, tusk? He has stitched it back on, so he got cut before,
got the staples there.
He's got the staples. Incidentally, does everybody remember that Chopper has had his antler broken off, so ever since he was a boy, he's got like a metal connector thing on his antler at all times.
Yeah.
Which is weird when you think about when he turns human and his antlers disappear, where does that metal piece go?
I guess it just gets absorbed.
It must get absorbed or something. It's shonen logic. That's fine. Point is, Jack specifically is aware through this communication thing, like, oh, the red scabbards are up in that place. I'm going to go kill them because they're the ones who cut off his tusk, who fucked him up there before Big Daddy Kaido stepped in to defend him. And he wants to go crush him. And this man has an axe to grind. And he's saying, like, hey, Black Maria, you stay put. I'm going to go do this. But Black Maria seems like she wants to take care of him too. So, okay, someone's going to go take care of that. But now we cut to full back side boob shot of Black Maria with a big old, some kind of mythological weapon thing that's they talk about. And then
flaming wheel, Japanese demon sort of thing. They have those enemies in Okami.
Yeah, right. And reminds me of the Executioner's wheel from Bloodborne. It's not the same.
Yeah, but she is a big spider lady with no top and a fiery weapon. It is Dark Souls right now. This is Quelaag.
That's true. Oh yeah, good point. Damn, literally. And I'm wondering, so she took off her shirt. Nobody made her take off her shirt. She chose to take off her shirt, showing her cool tattoo, saying the dangers of women. Ooh, it's all about dangerous women battle.
I think it might be just for like ease of movement, but I don't know.
Right. I'm just wondering about logistically, how is Oda going to convey like a shirtless woman with big flopping titties fighting? Will she put on another shirt, or will it be covered with her hair?
It'll be hair covered. It'll be
strategically arm in the way or things like that.
Like every love panel will have like a single strand of hair covering each nipple perfectly.
That would be just fine with me. That would be fine. But Black Maria, okay, right? She says here like, okay, Jack, you can take care of that. I'll take care of this fight right here. I will fight Nico Robin because you now, Nico Robin, belong to Kaido-sama. The Dojins write themselves. I can't wait to see that Dojin made real. But Robin says, no thanks, I'd rather die. And I'm loving Brook, with this big naked woman. Big old blush on his silly old face. He is loving this right now. Good man, Brook. And that's the end. No break next week.
If he asked to see her panties and they were like spider sized, like what would they even look like?
Let me see your spider hole, madam. Let me see your web hole. I want to see that and, look at it or something. I don't know. I guess you could have sex with that. Probably be hard. Sticky,
does he even have a penis? That's the nature.
Oh God,
the
answer is he shouldn't. But I want to. I mean, he'll bone you. He'll bone you. He'll use a bone.
He'll take off like his forearm and then place it on his pelvis, and then that'll work. That'll do.
Brooke has clarified he does poop. I know poop is different. Poop is things you're digesting. We have seen him cry. If he can cry, he can come. I am fully convinced. So he can have sex with you somehow. I don't understand. Oh, you know what? We've seen his eyes bulge from his skull. Now, that doesn't make any sense. What we've seen is like a weird like black mesh, like shoot out. I'm sure his cock is made of the same material. From the hole of his pelvis will emerge some sort of ghost ectoplasm cock with which he can definitely have sex. So, yes, it's absolutely, definitely true. He can do everything a real boy can do. I like to think
Dojin
anyway.
Writers, get on that.
There you go. Black Maria, Brooke. Brooke and Big Mom, of course. They've literally slept together. They love each other. He called her young lady. Very sexy. Yeah, there you go. But it made her feel like when she was a sexy young lady again. So produce more for me, everybody. All right, that's it. End of chapter. End of chapters. We're now up to date for like one day before a new chapter comes out.
Yeah.
Won't that be fun for us? Looks like, things are pairing up. Lots of fighting going on. Lots of people doing various important things. And and I am looking forward to it, I guess. Good chapters, lots of action happening. Not a ton of, like, big reveals or anything, but we're getting to the shonen-y stuff, you know, the fights and the power levels and the good stuff that you wait for all arc to get. We're really moving that way now, and I'm excited.
I think it's important to mention that just because when we come to an actual fight, like the one that is happening on top with Kaido, Big Mom, and the guys, just because we don't have much to say about what is currently literally happening doesn't mean that we're upset or anything. I feel like we talk about, like, we want to get to the fights, you know, do the one-on-one fights, and then there is a fight happening, and we're not really talking about it. It's only just because the nature of like analyzing and talking about the implications made by certain panels and statements bears like more conversation than just, that was a good punch. That was a real big punch right there. Like, it's really cool. I love everything that's been going on.
Right. Amount of time spent discussing a certain event on this show is not a necessary correlate or a necessarily equal ratio to how good or like a piece of the chapter it was. For example, like Luffy doing Gatling Punch or whatever took up some like 3-4 pages. Well, 3-4 big panels, maybe a page or two total. And but it was very good, and I liked it, even though you know the narrative importance wasn't massive. Although it actually was narratively important. And that Luffy used it, and he used up his haki, and you know
he's got
things
10,
are happening.
Everyone was like, "Oh, what?"
Oh yeah, you're right. So whatever. I agree with you. I think most people know that, of course. How much can you really react? Or I mean, you guys are gonna react. This isn't really the kind of channel where we go, "Whoa, bro, let's go! He punched Kaido, let's go!" You know
that's more of the thing you do as soon as it drops. You're reading it live.
Yes. See, I'm with you though. I'm thinking Robin fight, let's go! Yeah, Robin fight, let's go, baby! Not since Skypiea has she had a real fight, and even then, it wasn't even like a real fight. That was like a defensive fight where once she got a good hit on him, she could win. I don't know. Robin helped fight Gecko Moria. That was a fairly real fight, but as part of the group. You know, Brooke's here now, but I think this is a good matchup against Black Maria.
The last like notable thing in a fight it was an Umbrella fighting the guy.
Oh right,
in
Dressrosa Man.
Yeah.
Steven Tyler, Diamante. Right.
Diamante. Yeah. So this is like the needles.
Which wasn't much.
I mean, it was a cool moment insofar as it's like, she's taking so much damage in order to protect someone.
Right.
But it doesn't really come across because, like, women in One Piece aren't really shown to get, like, severely beat the fuck out of.
There are moments that stand out. Like when Nami fought Nami versus Miss Doublefinger, Nami got all kinds of fucked up in that fight. And that was cool, because you like seeing Nami face real stakes, real consequences, and gritty. It's not just about enjoying seeing women hurt, you know.
No.
We all love that, but, you know, it's about real consequences and stakes. And, you know, the same rule about we want a real Luffy fight with real consequences and stakes, and a Zoro fight with real blah, blah, blah. Same rules apply to every character. More or less.
Yeah. It was just like that fight was not really about her, and she was sort of sidelined by
Kairos is the one who did everything in that fight.
Yeah, it was much more about him and his like. I mean, whatever.
I mean, he won it in like one slash anyway. It was fine. It served its purpose, I guess. It was like I like Kairos as a guy who was a mystery for the whole arc, then became real and was super strong and did stuff. That's all fine and good, but you know, you want your. I mean, I always complain about like the side characters getting attention that could go to, like, Chopper. Where's Chopper's fight? Where's Robin's fight? Where's Nami's fight? Where's Usopp's fight? Frankie's real fight? You know, stuff like that. There's a reason people love, like, the Senor Pink part. And it's not just because of Senor Pink's cool backstory. Okay. That's it, everybody. We've talked about these chapters. Support us by going to Patreon to pay us for our once-in-a-while podcast episodes. We'll do more. You know how it is. We'll do more episodes.
Yeah.
And have fun listening to them. We do have a Twitter that you can follow, where these things will be posted, probably. And, of course, the Discord, the Pod Discord, where everybody's hanging out and talking about One Piece, and all the other fun stuff, manga-related, anime-related, other thing-related, that everybody's keeps people occupied day to day. Very active Discord, you know, as we always say. And that's it, everybody. We'll see you soon with another episode of the Podcast. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.